Hello my YouTube beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a wear test on a foundation that has been sitting here for a while and I need to test out. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I am so excited to test this guy out. I've heard nothing on this. I recently did a video testing out the Fenty Ease Drops, the tinted foundation or tint whatever. It's a skin tint and I really enjoyed that, so I'm excited to see how this does because it's supposed to be a little bit more matte. So if you enjoy wear tests and if you want to see my thoughts on this foundation, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you are enjoying the content and want to stick around. Starting out a little bit closer today, I think that these, like getting a little closer, is better for foundation reviews and things, so you can actually see how things are doing on my skin. So this powder foundation retails for $36. There are 50 shades. So it says that it comes in the same 50 shades as the original Pro Filt'r foundation. I do like the Pro Filt'r foundation. It can look a little bit heavy, and I would not say that, like, it says it's soft matte, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily geared towards oily skin. It doesn't control my oil super well, but if you like more of a natural kind of like satin finish, I think you would enjoy that foundation as well. I just don't think it's super mattifying, so we'll see if this one is the same. Online it says it's a light as air powder foundation that gives you light to full coverage with a soft matte finish. That sounds like the perfect little powder foundation for me. I really love the Makeup Forever soft blurring matte powder foundation, and then recently L'Oreal came out with the Fresh Wear powder foundation. Both of those are really great, like wonderful powder foundations, so I'm really hoping that this wears well on my skin. This is supposed to give you a non-cakey blurred finish with no flashback. It is buildable, so it sounds like you can get light coverage all the way up to full. Not supposed to clog the look of pores. It is also sweat, humidity, and crease resistant. I got mine in the shade 120, which I believe is the same shade as the Pro Filt'r foundation that I have. Looks like this. Definitely looks like it's going to be a little bit fair. I'm hoping that it matches me. I think what I'm gonna do, typically with foundations like this, I go in with a primer and then I just go straight in with the powder foundation. So for primer, I'm gonna take my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I think I did this in a video not that long ago, but I think I'm going to do this on half my face, just to see, and maybe I did this with the other Fenty foundation. I want to see if this affects the powder foundation at all. When I'm doing these videos, I want to be testing out the actual foundation and not just the primer underneath. Before I go in with the powder foundation, I am going to add some concealer. Since this is a liquid concealer, I want to be able to put it on before I apply any powder. And I'm taking, this is the Tarte Shape Tape. I've been getting back into using this and I don't know why I stopped. Probably because I was like, I'm running out, which is still the case today. I'm just using less of it. I set this down using the Fenty foundation. Oh, and right now it is 9 o'clock. I do wear tests for at least 10 hours. I want to make sure that I can fully see like how it wears on my skin throughout the whole day. And I don't think I mentioned this, but in this foundation, you get 0.32 ounces of product. That's not that much. I figure, you know, when you're spending this money on like a liquid foundation, you'd get like a full ounce of product, you know? All right, I'm gonna take my big fluffy brush here and go ahead and start applying this all over the skin. I think I am gonna go on a walk today, so we'll see how it does with like sweating and, you know, all of the claims being crease resistant, sweat resistant. I know that these foundations usually come with a little sponge. I find that the sponge can, like, it builds up product a lot in one area, so it can make it look really heavy in a certain area, you know? Wow, my skin looks really good. Like, very soft. It doesn't look like I have powder on my skin. Like, it doesn't look like, I can't see it sitting on my skin. And it covered pretty decently. You can definitely still see some of my skin through this. So I'd say right now it's like a solid medium, which is usually the kind of coverage that I go for. So I'm happy with how it's looking so far. It's not sitting heavy on my cheek area right here. Usually this is the spot that can kind of build up, look a little bit more dry. Right now I'm not seeing a huge difference between the side with the primer and the side without the primer. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. I'm curious to see how everything else is gonna apply on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but right now it's 9:06. Let's call the check-in time like 9 o'clock, because that's basically when I was done applying the powder. So I will be right back when I have a full face on. It is currently 9:23, so put all the rest of my makeup on, and I'm actually really happy with how it looks. I feel like it looks really nice, very like fresh, and I don't know, not too much makeup. Like I used the Tati Beauty palette, the volume 1, and I went in with a few shades on my eyelid. Added some mascara. For gloss, I went in with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. Been loving this. Adds just a little bit of something to the lips without adding too much. For face, I used this Kiko Milano Mood Boost Good Vibes Only palette. For highlight, I actually went in with this Undone Beauty Warm Up Bronzer. This shade right here, this lower one, it's like kind of an icy champagne. That is what is on my cheekbones. So really like how my makeup turned out today. Everything applied really nicely on top of the powder foundation. I have like no complaints right now. Everything looks really nice. Can see it's like, I would say a satin matte finish right now. It's definitely not a full-on like soak the life out of your skin type of powder. It definitely has a little bit of kind of like a lifelike look to the skin, which I really appreciate. So we're gonna see how it wears. I'm gonna wear this for at least 10 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead, go throughout my day, check back at the very end of the evening. If you have tried this foundation, let me know your thoughts down below. I am curious how people are enjoying this and how you're liking it. So if you tried it, let me know down below. All right guys, I'm back. It's the very end of the evening. It is 10 o'clock. Ready to go to bed and take this makeup off, but this has been on for well over 10 hours at this point. I will say it doesn't blow me away as much as the Makeup Forever powder. It's just not as good. I will say I would go in probably with a mattifying primer. I would not just go in either with no primer or with the primer that I used. I think that this definitely needs a mattifying primer if you do get oily. As you can see, I am oily. It has come off on my nose, on my chin. I would not say it is sweat or like crease resistant. I mean, I'd say it's like crease resistant, but sweat and humidity resistant I would not agree with. I definitely think it got pretty oily throughout the day, and I found myself having to blot or use the powder to kind of reapply where coverage was wiped away, specifically on my nose and on my chin. So I would say I do like this powder, and I definitely want to continue to try it out, but maybe with other products like more of a mattifying base, because I think if I did that, it would look really good. It wore very similar to the foundation, maybe a little bit less oily at the end of the day than the liquid foundation. I was overall pretty happy with the coverage and like how it looked throughout the day. It just didn't hold up as well as some of my other powders that I like are my holy grail. But I don't think it's a bad powder, and I do think if you had normal to combo skin, this would actually work really well for you. Definitely not if you have super oily skin, because it's not going to keep you matte. But there you have it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other products you want me to test out, new launches, things like that, leave them down below. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.